I think of one woman, she was diagnosed with cancer and she had 1 year to live. And she had a 1-year-old, and her mantra was, there's no time to rush. She was in touch with her aspiration.
Tara, the Courageous Heart workbook includes a whole lot of training, a whole lot of practices and exercises that someone can do. I mean, if I were to list them, it would go on and on. I mean, it's a full training that you've packed into this workbook. I mean, I'll just give people a little bit of a sense. There's a self-inquiry practice, a letting go and letting be practice. We examine our self-beliefs. We practice RAIN, the practice that you are well known for helping people work with difficult emotional experience. We practice RAIN for self-forgiveness, for conflict, for releasing difficult emotions, all kinds of things. But you begin with one practice, and I thought to myself, God, this is so powerful. Even if people don't get out of one of the first chapters of the book, which is declaring our aspiration. And you say aspiration is the fuel of the Bodhisattva journey. And so in our conversation, I want to hear more about that, this declaring of our aspiration and how that's the fuel for the whole Bodhisattva path, really.
Yeah. So if you think of the path as it's not going somewhere, it's arriving more fully in our awake heart, in presence, and living from that. Our aspiration is remembering that that's what matters, that love matters, that truth matters, that presence matters. The Zen teaching is that the most important thing is remembering the most important thing. And we know, I mean, I think when I say that of a palliative caregiver who described working with, thousands of people and the greatest regret being not living true to their heart, to what mattered most. And I think of it in a very day-to-day way. I mean, most of us can relate if we take a day, not a life, that we know love matters, we know presence matters, yet it's so easy to get caught in a trance where we're anxious and we're on our way somewhere else or distracted or losing ourselves in, the wormholes of YouTube or TikTok or addictive kind of behaviors. I think of one woman, she was diagnosed with cancer and she had 1 year to live. And she had a 1-year-old, and her mantra was, there's no time to rush. She was in touch with her aspiration. So on the Bodhisattva path, it's actually a training to remember what matters. It's a training because it's so easy to forget. And so for me, I'll just speak personally. The aspiration is to realize and trust and live from loving awareness, to realize that's what we are, to really trust that. And that's been there for many, many years. But what's changed over time is that I'm more intentional about remembering it, and because when I can remember it, then I get more aligned. And so I actually build it into my daily practice where, I'll meditate in the morning and after I get somewhat quiet, I'll say, okay, what matters? And, in some way, it sometimes has different language, but it could be being kind, embodying love, whatever. But then what I'll do is I'll look into this day and sense who I'm going to be with and what I'm doing and how I might live that. So I'll bring the different people. I mean, I actually bring all of my close circles to mind, each person. And I do a loving kindness practice, and in particular, one that very much helps me embody the sense of loving, so it's not abstract.
Tell me what you do when you bring these people to mind.
Yeah. So I'll say my granddaughter, she's the easiest. they both are, but I'll just start with the older, and I'll actually see her close up, and I'll feel my love for her, and then I will kiss her on the brow, and I actually do the expression of a kiss. Feel like I'm kissing her on the brow, and then I feel like she's doing the same to me, and I just dissolve into a field of who we are loving together. So I do it, and I'll start with some of the easier close-in people, and then the ones that are a little harder. And then I open it to those I'm going to be with. So you were in my meditation today, and it was very sweet. I felt, as soon as I saw you, I felt more openness, because I had already, in a very visceral way, felt our connection. And I sandwich the day, Tammy. I start with that, with reflecting on aspiration and imagining through the day. And at the end, I'll look back and just, notice where I went into trance, but it's not judging. It's just almost like it's informing me to be more alert for the next round.
When you say you look back and you see where in the day you went into quote unquote trance, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, where I got so caught up in what I need to do and what's going to go wrong, and anything where I am really taken unnecessarily from a more open presence.
Discover on-demand videos and docuseries, explore a full schedule of daily life classes, and become part of an incredible community. At Sounds True One, we invite you inward to find your way, your way.